What's up? What's up? Welcome to He Said, She Said, and the Real, where it is boo o'clock and we checking everybody's smashability, according to Lefty and Mr. Smokefella. Hey, check it out. Welcome to tonight's episode. I am so glad to see y'all. Everybody in the audience, I know y'all gonna check in. Go ahead and check in the comments and say hello. What's up, Wood? How you doing? Hey, listen, y'all. I just want to tell you, if this is your first time logging into this podcast, I just want you to know this podcast is about ships. It's about friendships, relationships, situationships, how to just not go down with the ship. We're giving you relationship advice straight from the misfits is themselves, and then there's Ben. So listen, if you we ask you to follow, like, subscribe, and share our page. We are on all things social media at the HSSS Podcast. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and make sure you check us out every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central. We coming to you with all kind of foolery. So let's say what's up to everybody in the audience. What's up, Tia? What's up, Amanda? What's up, Robin, Nunu, and Miriam? Now let me bring on my host and my she first, ladies first, of course. So I'll bring on Tiffany. What is up, Miss Camo Chick? Hey. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I missed you. It's been a week.
I know. What a week.
But it's
what's
been
up,
good.
Sissy?
Nothing much. Just here in the shy, trying to stay safe, trying to stay sane in the COVID-19 world, enjoying life, connecting with family and friends. That's what I've been doing. Just trying to stay safe. What about you?
Hey, I have been doing the same and trying to, because I'm down here in El Paso, so I know we national news down here. So they got the inmates helping out in the morgue down here. It's bad. I'm so serious. All right, let's bring in Lefty. Lefty, how have you been? What's up with you?
Hey everybody, what's going on?
Okay, he ain't got Law and Order on. What? Look.
No, it's on. It's muted, but it's on. I love Law and Order. Don't hate. No, hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I see everybody jumped on in and here, ready to check us out, to hear the misfits do what they do. I'm just doing what I do best. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 4 o'clock too.
It's boo o'clock every Tuesday at 7. Those are facts.
All right, let's talk to Mr. Smokefella. Mr. Smokefella, how are you tonight?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to the ride. As you know, I'm always putting some smoke in the air. You know what I'm saying? So hope y'all ready. And you know what? Since the inmates are helping out down there, maybe you should go down there and get you a boo.
You know what?
From the joint?
Get you a pen pal.
From jail?
You know they'd be faithful.
Flag
on the faithful to you.
We starting early. I already got to pull out the pen.
At least 5 to 10, you know he's gonna be faithful.
No,
not necessarily.
No, I don't.
No,
and that's a whole nother show.
In Texas, them sentences long too. They be in jail forever for stealing candy bars.
No, that's a whole nother show. They ain't no
did
love at the lockup here. I go on a lot of shows. 90 Day Fiance, Marriage at First Sight. Love at the lockup ain't a show I'm willing to go on, okay?
Girl, you get you a couple of conjugal visits, you'll be good.
Damn.
Wow.
You have really gone there, haven't you, man?
Protect yourself at all times.
And they're off.
and even 5 minutes in. All right. We also have a special guest in the building, but I'm going to let Ben introduce him. Go ahead, Mr. Smokefella, introduce our guest.
Yes. This is one of our fellow brethren, PG 69. Y'all take the PG and the 69 and mix it how y'all want. But my boy, PG 69 from the Smokefellas. What's up?
What's up, people? What's up? Thank you for letting me be a part of this wonderful show.
I got a question. Now I know that's your name on all the other shows, but what the heck is PG-69? Because my
Listen, hold
man
on.
instantly went in the gutter.
Are you trying to put him in the hot seat
You
already?
got it.
Come on. Come on.
It's his name.
You got
It's
it.
his name. I need to know.
Your man in the right place in the gut.
Don't love bug. Don't listen to these two fools right here. That's my first and my last initial and the year I was born in. PG.
Okay.
He jizzle, baby.
See, thank you. Thank you.
Allegedly.
This one, Damani did that. Damani got everybody doing that now.
That's the
69.
I was concerned.
Hey,
And one other thing.
that's the corporate
see my
definition.
Love bug on no married to the inmate. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Listen,
you.
hold
Thank
on.
you. I'm not gonna be on no love after lockup.
You
You
better
know
not.
what? And that's why I said PG-69 the way I did, and you too in the she shed, mines went there. That's just let you know how
That is
terrible
true.
the ladies can be at some point.
That is true. Y'all did go there.
We wholesome men on this show.
You know what? That's
Y'all
a lie.
hoe some men on the show.
Wow.
Something like a hoe. I'm sorry.
Where your flag at? Raise your own flag.
No, that was
No,
a
not
good
for that.
solid hit. That was a good solid hit. That was clean. Okay.
Do you realize
All right.
we told our teachers in high school that PIMP stood for Peers in Ministry for a Purpose? It was nuns, and they fell for it. They actually used to announce us as PIMP. Yes.
Hey,
for real.
I'm just leave that there.
I'm just gonna
leave that there.
I'm not even gonna touch that.
Random fact.
Y'all
It's
going
random
to
fact.
hell.
Random
You're going
fact.
to hell.
Random
I
fact.
do want to send out some birthday shout outs to our own Miss Amanda. I see that she's already checked in. Her birthday was yesterday. She is like 21 again. So
Happy birthday.
happy birthday, Amanda. It was also my godson's birthday yesterday, DJ. So happy birthday to DJ.
Happy birthday.
And then happy birthday to all of our November birthdays. Starting at the first of the year, we will have a special little birthday segment. I got something up my sleeve, so you need to hit us up on all things the HSSS podcast. Let us know when your birthday is so we can do something special for y'all. So
You better not know birthday song.
She
Put that on the birthday line.
hey,
We are not doing that.
You know
We are
somebody
not
old when
doing
you
that.
say they 21.
where you from?
South side.
You can't even say El Paso because that's too long. You messed the song up.
It don't even sound
Yes,
right.
they did.
Where you from? El
El
Paso.
Paso.
It said where you from. It said where you from, and my answer is GI all day. Y'all know how it go. Where you
Don't do
from?
that.
GI. Where
Don't
you
do
from?
that.
Ain't
Don't.
none in Gary. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The song was Chicago based.
Listen. Hey Ed,
Michael
what's up?
Jackson. Michael Jackson. Yeah, baby.
First up, don't go there because there's a lot of Gary on my timeline. Don't make me tell GI to stand up on this tag. Y'all from Chicago.
I'm sorry that they had to live somewhere.
And Roger, you know Roger from What's Happening from Gary, Indiana.
I know, I met him.
Yeah.
He sure is. Did y'all know that Muhammad Ali got married to his first wife in Gary?
Yeah.
And he left her in Gary too.
He left her.
Left in GI.
Hey, he
Goodbye.
left her for the street.
We
Okay,
all know
look.
the greatest. We all know the greatest thing came out of Gary. Name was MJ, and he got beat to success by his daddy.
I'm gonna go with Tito.
You know
I'm
why I
rocking with
like Tito
Tito.
too.
Okay, all right. This is why our show goes 2 hour long every
I'm sorry.
time
I'm
because
sorry.
we cannot stay focused. So let me bring y'all back. All right, so
Jermaine's hair.
focus.
Jermaine Jackson's hair. Classic.
All right.
Paint it on.
So-
Paint it on. Paint it on.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God.
Robo.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what? I cannot with y'all. So this week we are going to do our She Shed special, but we're doing it a little different. We are going to kick the guys out. They will be able to talk and participate in the chat, but we're kicking them out, and it's just going to be.
I just
what?
got here.
I know.
You'll
You'll be
be
all
able to
right.
come back.
Damn.
You'll be back. You'll be back. So, guys,
Ernest
I'm gonna-
never got put out. It's the earliest we ever got kicked out.
You ain't never
What?
lied.
I've been kicked out of better places.
Oh, that's
That
what men do.
that
They
was
have no
that
problem
was
with kicking us
perfect
out.
timing. Right. Perfect timing.
No problem. Oh my.
All right, now that we have our she said
I
and we
can't.
have our vibe. Whew.
Okay.
The testosterone is
I'm good.
Oh, so our special tonight is we wanted to talk to you guys about the Black woman syndrome. And Tiffany, you cannot talk about the Superwoman syndrome right now without bringing up Stacey Abrams. Like,
Man.
her name is all over everything. She just did an amazing job in Georgia with getting the vote out. And a lot of people have been talking about, oh, she's so strong. She dealt with that defeat. And she has been completely humble,
Deal.
very quiet about what she's done. And it really made me think in a conversation you and I were having about, everybody is coming out now saying if you want a Black woman, if you want something fixed, you need to have a Black woman do it. So I'm gonna kick it to you. Tell me how you're feeling right now with some of the rhetoric that's going on about the power and the strength of a Black woman.
Man, it's amazing because I think every time that we feel like we are down, like we come back. And so with Stacey, I literally sat there in awe. Like this woman carried basically an entire election and ran it with such grace and
Yeah.
just truly move forward without letting things stopping her. It's the plight of the Black woman. We are always in the line of fire. We are always under pressure to correct something. And it's like we never get a chance to say, oh my God, I need to sit down, or I just want to take my Superwoman cape off. I just want to be just a she in the moment. Like we always feel like we have to unleash these superpowers to correct the ills of the society. And so in that, like watching her, I'm like, where does she get her strength from? Like, what does she do when she goes home? Because I need to know that. Like I even think about my own life. It's like everywhere I go are things I have to focus on and fix. Family, work, friends, just jobs, careers, my hustle, like everything that I have to do. Is like, when did Stacey take her cape off and just say, I need to breathe? When did she breathe? Like,
Listen, that is, look, Vanessa chimed in, right? I'm so tired. Like I think we posted today on the page a challenge of describe a Black woman without using the word strong in it or something related to her strength or her ability to persevere. Like describe us out in a way that has nothing to do with the weight that we always carry.
yeah.
Um, and it's almost like as Cha just said, we don't get to take the cape off. We are required to be super at all time. And I was watching Ayana Van Zant the other day. I like, Ivana Fix Our Life. And she was having a conversation with a mother who was breaking down, and she was like, no, you don't get to break down. Your children need you. And I thought about how that has become the mantra that someone always needs us to be strong. And when you think about it, I think about the Stacey Abrams. I think of, Vice President elect Harris. I think about all of these women who are now showing up. They're sitting at the table, and they don't just get to be at the table with the agenda that's put in front of them, but they're at the table as the first Black woman to do. And therefore, they have to carry the entire race because they're Black and the entire gender, plus all of their own flaws. And I tend to just think like, have we created a a false mindset about the capability of a Black woman. Not saying that we are not magical. We are magical unicorns. We are. Is we dope, you know, we are
Right.
cocoa butter and Vaseline and all kind of magic put together. But
Yeah,
we want to get permission to be just who we are.
and I think that that's the piece that we don't see, because we always see people at their highest. We always see them when they are exhibiting their strength, when they are out there fighting the battles, when they're out there conquering the world. We don't see the softer side, or we don't see the hidden side. So I think that, yes, we've created this false reality in some cases, but it's the reality that most of us deal with. I think the problem that we as Black women is that we sometimes haven't figured out where do we connect with our other sister girls to have that release, or where do we release? Do we release with our mate? Do we release with our family members? I release with my sister girl, or do I just release in silence? And I can speak for myself. Like, I oftentimes release in silence because of who I am and what I do. I can never be vulnerable. I can never show a weakness. I can never just say, I'm taking off my cape today. I can't do you for today. I can't be Captain Save a Hole or save
Even look at what Cha Cha posted. She said her wish and gift I ask for every holiday and birthday for the past few years is for no one to need me for that day, and it never happens. You look at Vanessa's comment. We're always expected to put everyone's needs and wants before our own. When we don't, we are chastised. Oh, that's
girl, that's my
something.
world.
Wait, I'm coming back to you on that one, Vanessa. Mr. Smokefella, don't you think we have to break that cycle and be just a person, regardless of the sex? That's always the first thing that comes out: race, sex, and gender. I want to go back to what Vanessa said, and I think when I answer that, it's going to answer Mr. Smokefella too. I don't think that we feel that we've been given permission to just be. And I agree with Vanessa. We get chastised, and sometimes it's us, right? Like, we have been taught to be selfless. And I saw a meme the other day that said something like, Black women don't recognize failure. Like, we think when what we actually are experiencing is depression, and we mark it as failing. When we're tired, when we're unable to produce the results that everyone expects us to, we mark ourselves as failures. So I get what you're saying, Mr. Smokefella, in terms of let's break the mindset. But I think there has to be a bigger conversation around the dependence on Black women first, for us to then be able to get the break. I mean, I think one of the most powerful things, Camo Chick, is for someone to recognize that you are tired without us saying it, right? And that they would then step in, because I don't see that happening a lot. People just keep coming and like, okay, do this, do that, handle this, handle that, and you be sitting there like, and I think, you know, this might be a segment for us. What does it mean when she says this? Because when a Black woman says she's tired, she does not need a nap. Tired is not the word we use when we are physically sleepy. Tired means I'm finna give out. Like, I cannot think straight. I don't remember whether I don't know if this was a zucchini or a cucumber at this point in time. You finna get it all. I don't know.
Correct. Yeah. I don't think that we, and I see Tandy's comment about how do we break that mindset, and because it's been instilled in us for generations. And you're right. It's something that we as Black women have carried from generation to generation to generation, and it's still being passed down, no matter how broken our families are or have been, you know, across the decades. Is that the women have truly, and this is no knock to the Black man, because I love my Black men, but women have truly, in some cases, had to carry the family and the community and the society. And it's like for us, when do we get a chance to step back? Because like you said, you get ridiculed as soon as you say, I don't want to be bothered. I need a moment. It's like, what you need a moment for? What's wrong with you? I need a break from you. How about that?
And I
So
think to answer Tandy's question, I
mhm,
think that it starts with us.
mhm,
Because I will tell you that the people who mostly hold women to these unrealistic expectations is other women. I
yep,
think the most criticism I would get is from, I love my mother, but from a
girl.
mom or from another female that's like, I think it was even a commercial out where it was like, your ancestors came over on a ship and they survived this and they survived that, and you can't get up and go to work every day. Like, it's in your DNA. And I think that is the mess of a message. That's the mess
Yeah.
of a message that we have to start reframing and giving women permission that you are still amazing. I think Dre responded to the comment and said, amazing and beautiful was another way to describe Black women. Even in your weakest moment, when you can't provide anybody anything, you are still Superwoman. There was also a podcast. It's called Go Off Sis. They had a dope conversation that said, why are we pushing ourselves? And I think I posted something about Mary Abrams, where we're expected to underperform, so we overachieve. But at
Oh,
what point, Black women, are we going to pull back and let our resume speak for us?
so yes.
They know now that we are not underperformers ever,
Mhm.
ever. So when are we going to give ourselves and our sisters permission to breathe?
Today, I hope.
Hey.
When I start communicating how I feel, absolutely. Or when women start communicating how we feel, I think but it goes back to, it goes both ways. So I can
Right.
communicate, and I will say for most women, I think some women do communicate how they feel. It's how it's received, because oftentimes we get ridiculed. And go back just to your example of your mother. I think about my mom, and I will tell y'all this, and anybody that knows my mom, Willie is crazy, but I think about this one moment in time, and I was like, my mama is for real nuts. My father passed. My mother was like, we not crying. What? What you mean? You need to be strong. Baby girl, I can't be strong right now. But it's like in those, and I will tell you, my mother was a rock all through my father's, all the way through the service. She did her crying in silence. And for me, that's hard, because I'm like, show your emotions, because people are like, something wrong with your mother? No, she's right. She'll get around to it when she's ready. But we're always forced to bottle up those emotions. And then when it starts falling out because we've lost control, then it's like, oh, she's crazy. But it has nothing to do with us being crazy. It's the fact that we bottled up everything, every emotion, every solitary situation. And then it's that one camel that broke the back. I mean, that one straw that broke that camel's
Yep.
back, and then we just let it out on whoever is standing there.
And
And
D brings up a point that
yeah,
supports you. We are our own worst critics.
yeah,
We place those high expectations on ourselves sometimes.
mhm,
Vanessa says Thanksgiving is a perfect example of that. You are expected to cook. Yes, Mr. Smoke Fella, we are expected to cook 3 meats and 2 sides just to get a man. Oh my God. Oh my God.
so
Robin has responded to Mr.
yes,
Smokefella and said, when you speak your mind, a lot of people just look at you strange, tell you
mhm,
you will be okay,
yep,
just get over it and
no
walk
ma'am, walk
away.
away. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
mhm, and
Cha said, that's how you end up walking through the grocery store crying under
dude,
shades. Like, would you tell them? Because that's the only
been
places
there.
people don't want to go with you, is to the grocery store and the shower. Those are your only refuge. And if the shower walls could talk.
It would tell everything. So I guess I'm asking a viewer. So what do we do? So I know I've been wanting to throw off my cape long time. I've thrown it off several times, and I've shut down and said, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not doing anything. I've even had to have conversations with my mom. But what can we do as women together just to, one, be that support for each other when we decide to take our capes off? Because that's part of the problem, is not having that strong support system around you, because you don't feel like if I take my cape off, the world is going to end. Because in many cases, because we have our hands in so many pots and so many places, that when we decide we're taking it off, everything falls astray. So what do we do so that I can say, here, love, but can you handle this for me? Or, hey, T Rich, I see she in the comments. Can you handle this for me? Like, where do we get to be? When can we get to that place where we feel like we've developed that full support network? Because let's be real. Some of our friends ain't the best support.
And I mean, I don't even think we have the best examples. I think of Real Housewives of Potomac, right? Because it's mostly affluent women of color on that Housewives, or Real Women of Atlanta. They can't be in the same room for more than 5 minutes before they are in full tomfoolery activity. And so I would just have to say that first we have to get to the point that we as women are communicating effectively and efficiently with other women of color. And we're starting to look, let's use this moment of Stacey Abrams. Let's use this momentum behind Vice President-elect Harris and really start to stand in our power, but understand that in our influence, we don't have to be everything to everybody. We don't, and give everyone that permission, to say, girl, if you don't get somewhere and sit down and call off. I have an employee, and I told her, listen, even though I'm your boss, the reality is, if you were to drop dead today, I would be posting your position. Correct. And not that you aren't valued, but unfortunately, the world will go on without you. We have to reprioritize and understand, So you can't continue to feed everyone from an empty cup.
Correct. You got to feel yourself first. I see Robin did say, that's handle your business first and then deal with the emotion. That's old school. Yep, that is old school. Your grandmama used to tell you that. My mother told me that. Her mother told her that, and so on and so forth. All
right. Yes.
Robin, further, girl.
Yes, Robin.
We have to stop competing with each other subconsciously, and we do. We say we don't, but we do. We do it all the time. It's, dang, my girl, she got this, she's doing this, and she's doing that. And it's great when you get to a place where you feel like you don't compete with your friends subconsciously. But every now and again, I think we kind of take stock of what we're doing and what we're not doing and what we want to be better at. So I don't know if that's like, I feel like my friends challenge me to be greater. They really do. Like, I got some sharp sisters, some friends that are just doing amazing things. And I'm like, man, I got to step up my game so I can stick around. I don't want to be the lowest person on the totem pole, but I think that that's also a driving force for us to continue to hold on to that cape. And so when do we, like Dee says, when do we establish that self-care? And what does that self-care look like for you?
Yes.
Because that's what's important, is making sure your self-care is about you and not about everybody else around you.
And unapologetically do so. Yes. I think sometimes we do self-care, but then it's almost with a guilt. Like, oh, I went and got my nails done today. Like, for me, I know my love language is physical touch, and I ain't got no boo. So I like to go get my feet done because it satisfies the need for touch in a non sexual way. Yep. Or my nails done, or whatever it is. Like, figure out what your need is, ladies. Like, we are so in tune to everybody else's needs. I know what they need. I can anticipate them and everything. But do you know what you need? And then the crazy thing is, then don't be afraid to ask for it, because we have no problem with giving and extending ourselves. But when was the last time that we asked for help? And not with that, you see me struggling with this, you're not gonna help me, but like literally say, I'm not okay today. I'm tired today. I don't want to make dinner. You know, how many of y'all would? I'm comfortable with it because I don't cook. But how many of y'all would be okay with saying, I'm not cooking Thanksgiving? It's already a pen, and look, I already got you. So today you're not getting 3 meats and 2 sides. Mr. Smoke Fella.
You get a TV dinner.
Here's another comment. There's a strong black women versus a ratchet chick. It's such a mixed bag out here. I agree with you, Mr. Smokefella, that I cannot there, but I think we still need to be supportive of everybody.
And ratchet is a state of mind, and it's also a perception. Everybody got some little ratchet ways, but but I think that's also a perception. There are some strong black women that I know that are extremely ratchet, but guess what? It works for them. Everybody has their own thing, and I think that's also a problem within our as women, especially as black women, is that as many of us climb or quote unquote become more socially stable or socially accepted, you know, there's this, I'm gonna turn my nose up at the ratchet chick because I'm not like her. And that's not fair, because there are some women who quote unquote may fit in the ratchet, but they are doing the ish out here. So let's not underestimate the power of the ratchetness. Of course, that depends on how you define your ratchet. But
corporate thug.
Absolutely. Yes, I think I consider myself to be a corporate thug. But
I just think it's good, but okay.
Yes. But I think that's also a problem with us. Like, we haven't figured out how to coexist with I mean, of course, we don't expect you to like everybody, but I think, how do we get to a place where we're not turning up our nose at each other? And even amongst the affluent black folks, black women, we turn up our nose.
Well, we talk about that a little later. So you hold that is transcending into our main topic. Cha brings up a good point. She said it's hard for her. She works 8 to 4:30 and then 6 to 10 and still goes to cook. Sis.
My hero.
Yeah. Okay. I ain't gonna say that because my nephew's gonna get mad, but they better learn how to cook. They should have dinner waiting for you.
So this was something I learned years ago when I took on being president of my graduate chapter. So imagine having 100, almost 200 plus ladies, all these personalities. I made a decision for myself that at minimum 2 days a month that I would not do anything related to my sorority. Like, I wasn't taking no calls, I wasn't sending no emails, not responding to text messages. It was all about me and whatever I wanted to do. If that was me going to sit in the park by myself, me going to the movies by myself, it was all about me because I had to force myself to do it. So even for you, Charlie, is making sure like you carve out that time. And that's something we do not do because we're always on the go. We're always doing things and we forget to carve out that time for us. So just like you make an appointment for your nails or your hair, make an appointment to spend time with yourself. That's my suggestion.
Listen, I love this, and based on the response of the ladies, me and Tiffany, because in our real time when we not being relationship misfits, we actually are life coaches.
Yeah.
So ladies, like, I feel like this is something we need to really dive into and have a conversation. So make sure you like, subscribe to the page. Tiffany and I are going to get together and we are going to come out with something awesome to address this and come up with some solutions, because clearly we are not by ourselves with this. But I'm going to bring the fellas back. I'm going to let them have a few seconds to comment on the conversation, get them 2 seconds in the she shed before I kick them out again. But fellas, did y'all want to weigh in on anything before we sign out of the she shed? Laffy, y'all
can't hear you.
TV on my phone.
You know what? So let me get this straight. You wasn't listening to I Cry for Help.
I was listening.
That's that tomfoolery.
So let me say it. Let me chime in. I didn't feel like typing. It was too much to type. It was a lot going on. And then you got to go through the whole autocorrect. I didn't feel like that. So, I think you made a great point, Nick, about asking for help and not in a snappy way. Don't wait until it's too much. We all have, and men too, we have this tendency, we take on so much. because heavy is the head that wears the crown. We run around here like we don't need nobody. We got this. I'm a boss. I'm this. And deep down, you overwork, you exhausted, you tired and crying. But everybody walk around with this, with this persona like I don't need nobody. But as we can see from the comments on the page, it is a cry for help. But those conversations need to be had. I know single mothers right now, with kids being homeschooled, they working, sitting with their kids, doing school and everything. And then when you say to them, where's the father? Oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. Call him. Call that Negro. Hey, we need to, and so call your family members, brothers, sisters, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. We run around like we don't need nobody. Then when everybody leave you on an island, then you break down. But it was a great segment, ladies.
I'm gonna chime in too. Robin made a great point. You gotta have a good support system, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta know your audience. You gotta know the ones you can reach out to and say, hey, I need you to do this, or I need you to do that. Because if you don't have that great support system, again, you being that superwoman by yourself. And what you said also, Nick, you gotta know when to take the time out for yourself. Me and my wife here, I can almost tell when she need a moment. Babe, go ahead, get your crab legs, do what you do. I'm gonna be right here. Or sometimes she'll just come tell me, she say, hey, I'm gone. I see you when I get back. I'll be like, all right, cool. You obviously need some self-time. I'm cool with that. So you gotta know your people that surround you and who you can run to. And people gotta be able to recognize. You gotta have the people that know you. It can't just be people around you. They gotta know you. Somebody gotta come to you sometime and say, hey,
Pat, that's the hard part though, because we walk around like we don't need nobody, and you can't expect people to read you. You just can't. We gotta understand. Like I know Camo said something about when your grandma said, "Don't you dare cry. You be strong." We gotta get off that crying. A moment of weakness don't make you a weak person.
It don't
make you human. Cry, like you call your male friends or your boyfriend and cry. Like it's nothing wrong with it. It don't make you, it don't make you a punk or nothing like that. I mean, I think that's something that our ancestors have rolled down on us. Like, don't cry. Men, we really got it bad.
Exactly.
Men don't cry. And that'll make you weak, man. Everybody have a moment of weakness.
Vanessa brings up a point that I think we struggle with. She said it's annoying to have to ask, though, who do y'all think does everything? An Avenger? Come on. Sometimes our loved ones let us go with it because they don't want to. I'm going to push back, Vanessa, and say they don't do it because we don't require them to. And we think that people can read our silence. And we think that people know what our limits are. But when we constantly push past our limits to make it happen, we don't even realize we're setting new limits. A year ago, you would have been exhausted at 10 and you would have stopped. But because it didn't get done, now you're going to 11 and now you're going to 12. And then it's not until you have a heart attack, your head's falling out, you're getting some kind of physical ailment that people realize everything you've been modeled in. It's not comfortable to ask, but we also can't expect the people around us to know when we need help. Like it's not fair. And I had to learn that too, because I'm like, I know because I got an attitude and I'm tired but it's our requirement to ask. And that's not just in personal relationships. Ladies, let me say that transcends to the reason why statistically, when you look at VP levels, even for the most diverse company, as soon as you hit the VP level, the representation of people of color has the steepest decline. And you want to know why? We don't ask for what we want. What we do is, what we've been trained to do is to work our butt off. And if we work hard, people will notice our effort and they will reward us.
Expect to be rewarded.
And that does not work. It does not work in the corporate world, and it does not work in relationships. That's what I have learned. And that's not misfit. I'm telling y'all, you start demanding what you want.
It's one of the number one failures of black men and black women also. It's called pride. Pride is a killer. If you could put your pride to the side and ask when you don't know or when you need something, ask. Everybody don't recognize. Just say, hey, Ben, I'm not for sure, Ben, how to put the ceiling fan up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm asking you to come through Saturday and help me put the ceiling fan up. Ben, will you help me?
I got you, brother.
There it is.
So
See that example that men just showed y'all women?
I have a question though. So what happens if you don't have anybody to ask? So I'll say this, and I crack this joke, and I'm gonna use my mom as an example. I crack this joke about her all the time. I am her tech person. I am the call this company person. Now I have a brother. She will not call my brother. She refuses to call my brother. And when I suggest she call somebody else, she'll say, "Why would I call them when I got you?"
The expectations, though. You raised the expectation.
That's what it is.
That is that expectation.
You raised the expectation.
Also, it's an expectation of my mom, but also in knowing that, as women, and I will say this, a lot of women end up also caring for their parents as they get older. So now, not only do we have, our family structure. I mean, I'm single with no kids, but for those that have families of their own and their children, and then you have aging parents and you have to take care of them, that's an extra added responsibility that I think it's like, well, who do you give that to?
So here's a question.
To be honest. Yes.
I know, Tiff, I know that's your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I know how everybody is about their mom. Have you ever took that one time and say, Mom, I'm tired. I can't do it. I need you to get somebody else.
Or call
you
your
didn't
brother.
do it. You know why you didn't do it? Because that's your mom. That's why you didn't do it.
Call your brother.
I will tell my mother that, and guess what? I get cussed out.
Oh, well, that's just a mama's love.
So I'm gonna just tell y'all, we could obviously this is something we could talk about all night long. Nunu brought up a good point that I want to talk. We definitely need to go into further in terms of pride and asking and somebody not coming through because reliability is a big thing and it's a problem. And so D also brings up a good thing about we're not mind readers, women or men. And so then there's that unfair expectation of I should know when to step in and being penalized for unsaid conversation that we haven't had. So these are all things that me and Tiffany are taking away.
What does it all come back to? What did I say?
Communication.
If you don't, closed mouth don't get fed. And that's in work, relationships, life, period. So if you don't voice your opinion, what's going on with you, don't expect somebody to know. And that's just the bottom line. You got to be able to talk, and you got to be able to talk without the hand jabbing, the neck rolling, and you got to have a conversation.
Why do you always think that every woman is with their neck rolling and their eyes rolling?
Every woman got a neck roll in their back pocket. So
we're not even finna get listen. We
surrender to the boys. Let's
surrender. Okay.
Here's a white flag.
We surrender. Ladies, this was a great conversation. Great she said. We will be coming back with more information. But now we are going to transcend. Wait, I know y'all gonna get mad at me. They hate their music, y'all. They think they little thing so generic.
No, it's kind of dope. It's like you walking into this sexy room and shit. So I roll with it. I'm learning to vibe with it. I'm learning to vibe with it.
Man cave ain't supposed to be sexy. It's a bunch of dudes.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking red room. My bad.
Excuse me. We are now transcending to the man cave, and Tiffany and I are going to surrender to the man cave. So have fun with them.
All right, guys.
I mean, man.
I guess it's our time to shine. So I guess ladies think we talk is sports and big booties and stuff like that, which we do. We do
talk about the yams.
We talk about the yams and stuff like that. But we also talk some serious stuff too. So piggybacking off what the ladies were just speaking on, I had a conversation with a young lady of Latino descent. She was a young lady, and she asked me how I felt, and we talked about this on one of our other shows, how we felt of how, as a man, did we feel about the term strong black woman? Right? Was it uplifting women, or was it devaluing the black man? And only in the black culture is that terminology used. You never hear strong white woman, strong Puerto Rican, strong Mexican. You only hear strong black woman. So I'm gonna ask you two, when you hear that term, what do you think? Who want to take it first?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. You got some strong black women out there because they've shown it, proven it. But right now it's a catchphrase. It's lost its meaning. And trust me, I'm not saying that there's not a lot of strong black women out there, but every woman is, I'm a strong black woman. I'm a strong black woman. What makes you a strong black woman? Honestly, that's the thing. It's a phrase that's been thrown out there for the last 10 years or so, real strong. And I'm a strong black woman. Just because you turn up in the club don't mean you're a strong black woman. Just because you got a kid don't make you a strong black woman. Just because you a VP and a Fortune 500 don't make you a strong black woman. Are you communicating with your family? Are you if you have in a relationship, are you working with that partner and raising your household? That's a strong black woman. Just because you drive a fancy car don't make you a strong black woman. I think that phrase has been thrown out there so lightly that sometimes it's ridiculous. That's just my point. But if y'all want to jump in, bring it on, because I'm ready for all the comments.
You know what? I'm gonna have to agree with Ben. It's really a generic phrase now. When I used to hear strong black woman, I would think back to people like my great grandmother, my grandmother. My grandmother, she raising the kids, she doing all the cooking and cleaning in the house, she taking care of my granddaddy. And then when I come to my aunties and my mom, you know what I'm saying? My aunties, they both were single parents, working numerous jobs. They taking care of the kids, they coming home, they cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. So I think back to those generations when more of the household duties, the heart of the house wasn't involved. You would hear more of them saying, "Girl, you strong." You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you do it. Henry be going all these hours, and you doing this and you doing that, and you
say Henry?
You keeping his family.
Did you say Henry?
Yeah, that was my granddaddy's name. Henry. My granddaddy's name was Henry. You doing all this. Too. You doing all this, and you keeping his family together. You a strong black woman. But now, like Ben say, it's just a generic phrase out there. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a kid, and you're raising the kid, you ain't getting no support from your baby daddy. That don't always make you a strong black woman.
Right. You got somebody.
That means you got knocked up by the wrong dude.
That's what that means. That's what that means. I mean,
you're yelling, I'm a strong black woman, but your son just shot up the whole block.
Right. And then they took a lot of our ancestors. They took a lot of ridicule, and they was able to take that, and they still was able to press on, and they kept that family together. They was a matriarchs.
So have we? Because it seems like we have materialized everything. Everything goes with. Because I'm driving, like Ben made a great point, because I'm driving this, because I make this kind of money, and because this, but when we look at our grandmothers, great grandmothers, and even some of our mothers, to an extent, like make $1 out of 15 cents. That's strong. My grandmother had 14 kids, wasn't balling in the projects, having to feed, having to stretch a loaf of bread or making, cereal with water in it and mayonnaise sandwiches, how to make it work and how to even holding the family together. Now we just got this whole, I don't need nobody. We just got this whole need thing. And the point the young lady was making to me was that, their culture, the women are kind of raised to be wives. Like they can't even, her family, they don't even allow the girls to move out on their own.
Until they're married.
And until they're married or about to get married. You can't go get no apartment. You can't go get, no, it don't work like that. It was all family. She said they even go as far as the single men, the cousins in the house. They don't have wives. You as a cousin or a sister, whatever, you have to fix their plate. Now, I'm not saying it got to be to that extent, but it's a culture it's something that's being taught. And their families, they have a family environment, which we don't have anymore. So as independent independence just makes us, you know, it makes us cold-hearted because and makes us resent everybody because we think we're in the world by ourselves.
I'm gonna tell you about the biggest farce out there. The biggest farce is when somebody say, "I don't need nobody."
Yep.
That's the biggest farce because everybody needs somebody in their life, and I'm not even talking about relationships and all that, but somebody you need somebody.
Did you read? Charlie said, she said that's where some have it wrong. Those of us who are strong long for the opportunity to be weak and vulnerable.
And that's
exactly. That's strong. That's a strong comment.
Exactly. That's a great comment.
Charlie, you just touched my heart.
and you know, and so let's go a little deeper because you even look at now, even the financial dynamic of Black women are out earning Black men. We're the only culture where that's happening. Now, that's great. Sisters getting theirs. They love it, man. Get your money, boo boo. You know. But has it destroyed our family structure?
Hey man, you ain't gonna say boo boo in the man cave no more.
I'm sorry about that. Flag on the play. I can't find one. But
you know what?
The whole and Nunu makes a great point. We as Blacks have lost our way of the word family,
and that's facts. But to what you just said, Damani, yes, it has destroyed our relationships and family wise now. Because when you think of a woman making a lot of money, if she doesn't have that mindset that, you know what, I make more than my man. So what? When we all bring all this together as a family, we're gonna make it. A lot of women now that's making that money and stuff like that. And we've heard people say this before. What your check look like? Let me see what your finances look like. You know what I'm saying? It's like if he doesn't make more than you or equal to you, you just not interested no more. Because you make the most money.
Listen, man. In my family, man, my mom is the matriarch now. My dad passed away, no grandparents, so my mom. So the thing is, man, what I've been having my family do, we got to learn the traditions from myself to my sister, my brother, my kids. So as we move on, it continues. You know what I'm saying? My mom would want to cook the entire Thanksgiving dinner herself. No longer. I'm taking 2 of those meats and my mom might cook 1. You know what I'm saying? I'm making macaroni and cheese. I'm getting in. My sister's getting in. My kids now are getting in, bringing stuff to the table. So they have to learn. And that family is going to take you a long way. When you lose that family dynamic, it hurts the entire Black community and culture.
And it has did great damage to our culture, bro.
Because what's going to happen within the next, let's say 10 to 20 years, man, it's going to be a bunch of baby mama, baby daddies. And that trend, you know, when we show our children that, they tend to take on that same thing.
You said 10 years. Damani, we already there. If you just look at it out there, man, you got a lot of baby mamas, baby daddy.
Yeah, it is. But I'm saying, but then they're gonna be the old baby mama, the old baby daddy. You know,
exactly.
And devaluing like need and we spoke about it. You know, with the ladies, needing something or someone doesn't make you a weak person.
Hey,
it doesn't make you a weak. Men love to feel needed. One thing about us, I think men need to be needed. Men need to be needed, and that's why you have a lot of women in powerful positions that are struggling relationship-wise. Because when you hold that perception, what did I say earlier? Heavy is the head to wear the crown. You hold that perception, it's like, what you need me for? Hey, you see what I mean?
Hey, Ben, can you read Charlie's last comment, bro?
Charlie been getting it in. I make more but leave this house. You can't leave me if you don't know where you are going. we have to have directions.
I won't do aimless.
Right.
Facts.
Now,
Facts.
those are facts. But just because you make all the bread, if you get the right man, because if I was in that household and you made all the bread, guess what? You ain't got to lead me nowhere because I got the direction to take us to where we need to go.
Whoa.
Facts.
That's Mr. Smoke Fella.
And allow yourself to be led. Allow yourself to be led. Allow yourself to be led. Don't no man want to struggle for power. We ain't going through no tug of war, damn it. We ain't going through all that.
And you know what? I'm finna give you an example, bro. Everybody know me and my wife, man. This lady, I ain't never met a woman who hustle like this. You know what I'm saying? She got 3 damn jobs. She got 3 jobs. My wife make more money than me, but guess what? You would never know it. And you know why you would never know it? Because she let me lead the household, and she's the heart of this household. We make all decisions together. You know, it ain't about who make what. It's about how you run your household, how you get along with your mate, and how you strive to go further. That's how that goes.
So real quick, I want to bring Camo Chick's comment back up before we move on to Jenna's, because she has a good one too. But some men aren't looking to be needed. Some are looking to take advantage of women that are doing well. And men go through the same thing.
That's true.
Men get used. It's not a one-way street. Men get used all the time.
It's two sides to that coin.
It's always two sides to it. But that don't mean we don't treat every female as if she's trying to use us. Don't get into this pattern of thinking, everybody want the material things you got or want to use you. And that's what sometimes makes our sisters especially unapproachable. Because I know we've all rode the metro. How many sisters on the train frowned up? Just looking like, just mean.
Like you on this train. I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
And you know what? Can't take a compliment. A man just might be like, "Hey, you look nice today." What? Nah, stop.
What you think this is?
You want to say hi?
It's just a comment. Hey, how you doing? And you know what? That's one strong thing now. Just saying hello, because if you say hello, they think it's some type of something behind the glass.
Another motive.
Yeah. And sometimes we run with that perception, but keep in mind that the strong black women a lot of times become angry black women.
Yeah,
they become angry black women, and so give up, give some of that up. You can give some of your power up, especially when it comes to relationships and things like that. Like I said, nobody really wants. I mean, just say, hold on, let me finish before you start. You go on a date with you go on a date. Where you date? Y'all first start out, and she kind of got this attitude, this persona to herself, like, I got this. I don't need nothing. I don't need nobody. Like, you kind of got this. I'm a strong black woman and all this. Is that somewhat of a turn off for the guys when you start hearing comments like that? Can that be a turn off?
So
both of them popped into the man cave.
Right.
We gotta change a lot. Listen. I just gotta say this. Men, sometimes when you come across an angry black woman, you have to look at the source. Anger is never the reason. We're not angry just to be angry. And I think that is the worst stereotype that has ever been put on a black woman. We're tired. And what happens when you're tired? Honestly, think about a baby. When a baby gets tired, what happens? They get cranky. They're unconsolable. You can feed them. You can give them warmth. But what they need, you're not providing because they're overly stimulated.
So Ambien.
Ambien would be a conversation where we aren't carrying the load. Piggybacking off of what Lefty said, heavy is the crown that carries it. So to what Cha-Cha said, to what Nunu said, men are requiring us to follow them in a circle. That's where we're going, because sometimes y'all don't know how to lead.
Guess what? You pick the wrong one then. How about that?
I agree.
That's called choices.
So you know what that is?
But when you guys come across a woman on the train who may be mean mugging you. Let me let y'all in. You may not have realized that she had to go 3 stops with her baby because her baby daddy didn't pick up the kids. Her car is not running. Her boss called her in early, and what you see here is because 12 men ain't bothered to help but want to holler.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is sometimes the reaction you get is not who we are. It's
Correct.
where we are in that moment.
And that if that where isn't, if we aren't a part of that, we're not at fault. And you carry that over into when I approach you or whatever, and you got that, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have to sit back and think, well, maybe she had a rough. No, a lot of men just be like, all right, sister, you good. Like, take that over there.
Like how y'all don't be tripping and only want to take us to Starbucks because 4 dates you had treated just tricked y'all out of a meal. So now y'all looking at every female on the first date only
first date is always Starbucks.
Want a meal.
First date is always Starbucks.
Starbucks, you get to know
My last
somebody.
first date wasn't at a Starbucks. My last first date was at Root Chris.
All right. So here's the thing.
Is that when you got ghosted?
Oh, y'all wrong. Y'all
boom,
wrong.
low blow. Boom.
Hold on. Hold
Hey, you in the man cave.
You into the cave.
You came into the cave.
That's a red flag.
You came into the cave.
You came into the cave, so you better protect yourself.
Who goes to the penalty box? No, seriously though. But I think that here is where I continue to struggle, and I think I've struggled with our conversations is because we put so much pressure on the Black women. So let's take a trip back to history. So in time, we were all raised, or in our community, was that the Black male was the head of the household, or the man was the head of the household, period. In the Black community, all that started to break down. So what were women forced to do? They were forced to become strong. They were forced to become the head of the household. They were forced to take care of their kids. They were forced to do all these things without a presence of a man.
Why?
Hold on.
But no.
Without the presence of a man.
Where were those men at? They were locked up.
Let me finish though. So that has
taken away from the household.
But here's the thing. So, and I will say this: I am what am I now? 47. I had to count. 40. 47.
You had to carry the 2.
I had to carry the 2, add 10, whatever. You know, some days I say I'm 30, but I'm 47. But anyway, here's the thing. Many of us have been raised. So I am thankful that I was raised by a man who taught me how to be self-sufficient in the event that I did not get a man. So that was the one thing. Now, I would love to say that all men are reflective of what your perceptions are, because here we are, we have a good group of men that tend to do right by women, but that ain't true for every man. That is not true. I've had men go look up my
for most men.
When they meet me and they're like, what you do for a living? Where you work? When they find out where I work, what do? Go find out what I make for a living. Oh, you don't need it. You good. Can I borrow this?
Again.
There's scumbags everywhere.
There are scumbags everywhere. But what I'm saying is that you all tell us, this is what you tell us. We got to have 3 peas and 2 sides. We got to take care of the kids. We got to take care of our households. We got to pay our bills. We got to do this. And then I got to turn around and make sure that you feel like you are strong and that you are the head of my household.
And need it.
And need it.
Then you have to be
and then I gotta communicate. Then I got to communicate, but I got to communicate in a way because you tell me not to snap my fingers and roll my eyes and
but
move my neck.
You say you willing. So you're saying you willing to relinquish some of your power.
Absolutely.
You're saying you are.
Yeah.
But it's really not as easy as you think.
It ain't.
Because you get used to this pattern. You get used to doing things your way. And here's the problem: as we get older.
Absolutely.
As we get older, it's hard to break it when you've been for the last 10, 15 years by yourself, single, taking care of the house, taking care of the kids, cooking every day. Then here come dude. Now he got to make up for 10, 15 years of you being single and living before you relinquish some of your power.
I don't expect you to do that.
You don't even know you do it.
Here's the thing. I think most women that will tell you they have been in a position where they had to have become independent and strong or whatever y'all are using is that they are more than willing to relinquish. But I'm not just going to give it to any old random person. You got to show me that you are able to be, I hate to use the word worthy of me allowing you to.
Hey, Camo.
Ain't no wrong with it.
Camo.
Yes.
We're going back to that one word.
What's that?
Choices.
It is a choice. Yes.
And instead of going to Ruth Chris on your first date, how about y'all get to know a brother and go have a cup of coffee
There it
at
is.
Starbucks and get
But
to
if
know
you
him and see if that you need to go any further.
A lot of
I mean, damn, if I go to Ruth Chris and you got a nasty attitude, I'll be like,
Hold on.
Y'all don't get past the facade.
Hold on.
Y'all will read the prefix. Y'all will read the first chapter, maybe the second chapter. But soon as something crazy happened in that second chapter, y'all stop. Y'all close the book. Y'all throw the book away.
Hey, time out on my Ruth Chris day, because that was a good date. I'm gonna need y'all to come off me.
Y'all do the same exact thing with us.
Come off me. And not only was that was a great date with great conversation, and me and that person is still friends. So how he approached was not the issue.
No.
In this selection. Hold on.
That's what you're saying.
But because he was willing to put it out there and be vulnerable and not go through all these measured steps with me, I was able to also meet him. So what Tiffany is trying to say and what they're saying in the comments too is y'all got a lot of requirements.
And women don't.
Time out. You in the man cave. You are not gonna come into the man cave and act like women ain't got
the man cave over.
Water.
Y'all
get your damn feet up.
This Christmas list.
Y'all went 45 minutes. You gonna cut us off?
Now you gonna stop that. You're not gonna come into the man cave with this buffoonery.
And as many. Hold on, listen.
You know what? As women, because we strong, we gonna bum rush our way up.
Do y'all realize as many bad dates as you all might have had, men have had equally as many?
Agreed.
I agree. Listen, I don't ever want to turn it into a comparison of battle scars, because I think if women and men were honest, if we're trying to date and connect, we all taking hits. We taking L's. People send their personal representatives. You just don't know what you get until you get it, right?
I knew that was gonna come out from one of y'all. From one of you two, I knew that personal representative was gonna come out.
You do.
I knew.
And it's not just men. Women do it too. You know, absolutely.
Next man cave, put the pit bull at the bottom of the stairs.
Right.
And if they try to come down there, let them loose.
There, right? I put Sticks and Lil Mom at the front.
We're gonna have Sticks and Lil Mom at the bottom of the stairs. Next time y'all bum rush the man cave.
You do understand. When you out there looking, you ain't gonna never find. When you stop looking and you got yourself right, that's when Mr. Right or Mrs. Right come along and changes the game for you.
Mm-hmm. So Tandy said the perceived mean mug might not have anything to do with you. She might be thinking about laundry, that report, cooking dinner, but happens to be facing your direction. Sometimes your assumption is that it's about you. Meanwhile, she hasn't even noticed you because of her own stuff.
Okay. And
she said very nicely what T. Rich said, which is get over yourself.
If you mean mother, you got all that on your mind. If somebody says, "Good morning, young lady," what's wrong with you saying "Good morning, young lady" back? You don't have to mean mother and keep going.
Nobody said gotta be cheese and ear to ear all day.
Right. But you do understand a lot of women have lost out on the opportunity to meet a great man because they all in their baggage.
I'm gonna tell y'all to stick a pin in it, because that is a conversation that I really want to dive into. That was a conversation that came up in a dating group, that a lot of times women have not been receptive to men's greetings because of over aggressive men that don't know how to stop, and you go from bae to a itch
to the B word
real fast because you don't get the response. And so I want to dive into that on a totally different conversation, because I think that's a great conversation about why. Because I am one that feel like if a man smile and speak. I don't care if he only got 2 teeth in his head. He's being nice. No.
Come on now.
But also, you still speak. If someone
You
speaks
still
to you,
speak.
my mama raised me that if somebody speaks to you, you speak back. That's just how I was raised.
Well, if he got
And-
2 teeth, he probably spitting on you when he talk anyway.
But
Let's move on to the
16
comment.
and
Man cave over.
Jerome, the security guard.
Let's get on to the main topic of the night.
But we going to the main topic. Man cave is over. We kicked it in. Pat can never come back again because he threw shade at me.
I'll just ask a question.
No, don't ask questions. I'm the host. I ask the questions.
Them pit bulls gonna be at the bottom of the stairs next
Duly
month.
noted.
Facts.
Facts,
Them
facts.
pits gonna be at the bottom of
But
the
we're
stairs.
going into the main topic, y'all. We want to talk about colorism, or as my grandma would call it, color struck. And we want to talk about, is it a preference or is it a prejudice, right? And I just want to tell y'all, I wanted to talk about this because y'all, I don't know who else watch it, but I watch Ready to Love. And every week, Ready to Love be making me want to come here and have a conversation with y'all about the tomfoolery I seen on the show. And this week's conversation was
What's wrong with you now?
light-skinned. Shut up.
That BS.
That's good. That's good TV.
What's Law and Order like that?
People. Light-skinned people. He happened to be a Kappa.
Why you putting the Kappas on blast like that? You
Yeah.
just said Greek.
No, I'm telling you.
It was on the show. It was on the show. It goes into the topic because there's a stereotype associated with Kappa. He was light-skinned, he was a Kappa, and the assumption that was made was that he was stuck up and narcissistic because he was light-skinned and bald. Now, Lefty, you should feel some kind of way about that.
Wait, just got blinded from
I ain't light-skinned, but I am bald.
That shine, baby. That shine.
It made me think, y'all. It was shiny too. Like he been sweating over there under that hat.
No,
that's the album.
It made me think, y'all, about how we perceive people.
That's that Nair.
Whoa.
Stay on topic.
Whoa.
Wait till after this show. I'm gonna cuss you out after this show.
I threw the flag up for you.
Damn Nair. Damn Nair on my head.
We wear short.
I'm logging off. Goodbye.
Okay, all right. My bad. But
Oh.
I really wanted to talk about colorism. And you hear the tall, dark, and handsome. Somebody commented on page talk about them red bones and thick. Okay, people got their preferences, but at what point does that become a prejudice? At what point does it become a problem? And have you experienced it? So since we talking about bald-headed, light-skinned people, Lefty, I'm gonna start with you. And I want to know.
That was prejudice right there.
Yeah, because
very much so.
You only bald head, that's it.
Facts. I'm calm. I ain't Drake color.
Dre is translucent. That's a whole nother level of light.
I ain't Drake color.
But Lefty, two questions for you. Have you ever been accused of being color struck? And have you ever experienced colorism?
Yeah, definitely. I'll start on the back end. I was a young lady years ago. She was like, I like chocolate brothers, dark. You too light for me. I've been told that. I mean, it was all good. I mean, I was just on some BS anyway, but still she said it and she shouldn't have said it. So, and on the other side of it, so when I was younger, especially high school, I'd say even my years in college, like most of my girlfriends were fair skinned. They were light skinned, but I'm on the light side too. So I didn't see what the issue was. It's not, and I was accused of being color struck from family members, friends. You only like them. You like them half yellow girls. You like all them, and it wasn't that I never considered darker women ugly or nothing like that. No, I was attracted to darker women, but it's just who I meshed with. So for me, it was a preference, but I was accused of being color struck. It just so happened that the girls I was dating at the time, my girlfriends, as relation to relation, not the same time, they were light. They were light skinned.
Yeah, clean that up. Clarify that.
Clear that up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clarify
clean it
that.
up. Right, not all at the same time. Yeah, no.
So let me ask you this: as you being the most fair complected male on the panel tonight,
I feel the same
have you
type of way.
ever felt some way about the trend on social media about light skinned dudes do this, and then they had like the Prince or the Lionel Richie cover?
I
This
used to
how they
post them.
take pictures.
I used to post them. I thought they were hilarious. But
Or
you know
even
what?
the pretty boy complex that if you light skinned, you almost like you a punk because you pretty.
Yeah,
Or,
definitely.
not that you pretty or anything, but I was just asking.
Whoa.
That don't need to be said. So let's move on. Yeah, definitely, man. We actually got a homie. Me and Ben got a homie that he get real sensitive about it. Like we tease him, but he gets very sensitive about it. And I don't know if you're watching the show, but I can tell you, matter of fact, he didn't pledge one fraternity because he didn't want that stereotype, because everybody just knew he was going to be that. I'm not going to put no fraternities out there. So he went another way to avoid it. And sometimes, you would have that. And it is, and I ain't going to lie, when you see a little genuine looking dude acting tough, you be like, really, fam? Really, you got baby hair. You hard.
He said baby hair?
You got baby hair, fam. You
Rich
can't be
said
tough.
Obama brought light-skinned brothers back in style a little bit, but God bless the black man, period.
Yeah, so I think so. It's
I'm
not
mad that you said
so
got baby hair.
preference. It's all about preference. I know dudes who like heavy women. You know, I know dudes who like, we tease them like chubby chasers and all that. It's just a joke, but that's their preference. What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. We just get sensitive about colorism because it is something that goes all the way back. And we, coming up, light was pretty, dark was ugly. Whenever it was the portrayed ugly person on TV, they were real dark. Remember that? Mm-hmm. They were always real dark. And so that's something that has kind of been drilled in our heads. So I see where people get it from, but it's not always true.
Mm. So you gonna tell me it wasn't no plot behind replacing dark skin Aunt Viv with light skin Aunt Viv? You gonna tell me that it had nothing to do with
that was financial?
That was a joke. It was a joke, but it is part of the conversation.
It was. But you looked at and even though we know DNA, School Days, great one, T.
I was waiting to get in so I could bring that up too.
School Days, the prime example, the dark sisters versus the light sisters, and who was what? Now, for the Fresh Prince part, none of them kids was dark, so they had to lighten that mama up. Wasn't one dark kid on there.
Facts.
Just a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
So listen, Nunu said she dated the rainbow. She was never color struck. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna get in from the female side. Of experiencing colorism, I too, Lefty, don't consider myself to be light skinned, consider myself to be like peanut butter complected, but I definitely got the backlash of you think you cute. And my response is you must think I'm cute because I never said I was cute.
Facts, that's what they mean.
Nobody said that to you.
And just to clarify, you're not peanut butter color, you more like real warm. You like real burnt butter color.
Taupe. She like a taupe and orange mixture.
Grab a person. Who does that?
A taupe and orange mixture.
Taupe and orange?
Taupe is a dope color too, man.
Red bone.
Taupe is a dope color, number one. That's a dope color.
Nick,
those red undertones is what you're seeing.
Right.
I have red and yellow undertones. You call them orange. It's called red bone. Anyway.
Ain't nothing about you red. Stop it.
You should see it when she gets some sun. The red comes out.
Anyway, listen, I'm going to say this. I prefer tall, like 6 feet higher, light skin, look like Christian Keys, pretty eyes. That is my preference, if you ask me. However, if you ask my children, based on the have dated, they don't look nothing like that. Because I think, in honesty, you think you have a preference, and that's what makes it a preference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's what I like. But then when something else comes, I like that too. Sometimes it's like almond joy and mounds.
So
Sometimes I feel
basically,
like
you
a
right.
nut, sometimes I don't.
So you right.
You named two of the nastiest candies in the world.
You know what?
Okay.
That one person brought it up before I did. They was talking about school day, but I was gonna even go back further than that. When you think about the early 50s and 60s, like the money said, they always put the really dark skinned women on the screen and made it look like they was, as they say, the jigaboos, like they were ugly all the time. And you would see the fair people like Dorothy Dandridge and stuff like that. You would see them in the movies and stuff.
Lena Horne,
they was Lena Horne and all them because they was fair skinned. They was more on that lighter side. So it was kind of drilled into us in the younger days. Then when we came over school days, you had the jigaboos and the wannabes. The jigaboos was the dark skin. They was fairly, all of them was pretty, but they thought of them as being ugly. And the wannabes was the light skinned pretty girls, stuck up, high class. So it was kind of drilled into us as we got older. Me myself, I never really had a preference either. I dated dark skinned people, light skinned people, and my wife not. When you say light skinned, my wife is light skinned. In the wintertime, you would think she was white.
Glow in the dark, light.
Don't talk.
Okay,
she watching, right?
Get off
Hey,
D.
sis. Hey, sis.
Get off D. It don't matter that we outnumbered.
My dolphin sister.
And you know one word she hate, Nick?
Yeah.
If somebody call her a red bone,
Yeah.
like this, I'm gonna move out.
Or high yellow. Like
she don't play.
I'm gonna remain quiet.
She don't play a red bone.
Correct.
She gonna hurt somebody and call her a red bone.
She said she listening.
She listening to money.
Hey,
Yeah.
D, I didn't say not one word.
Robin brings it up. The brown paper bag test.
That's something I can express to that, in my sorority, I'm AKA, is that, traditionally you think of AKA, you think light skin.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this, rumor back in the day, and it actually was probably true. They actually put up a paper bag and you could not come in if you were not lighter than that bag. So,
wow.
Yeah, so, just that whole idea of what we as a society thought was.
So all the girls had to put on some light foundation.
This was not currently now, but this was like way back in the day. But I think that's something that we as a community, you have the lighter, fair skin. Like I consider myself more cinnamon. I am not taupe. I do have red.
Taupe is not even a pretty brown. Like
who does that?
Taupe is cold.
Taupe is cold because y'all wear them new color taupe shoes. Yeah, stop.
Yeah, no.
But
no.
I never.
But no, seriously, like I had a preference, like when I was younger, like I'll be sure days. So high yellow, cute baby,
pretty boys,
hair, pretty boys with the curly hair. And as I matured, like it would be chocolate, bald, 6 foot over with a beard. Like that's my preference.
Hey Tiffany, I got a question. Because of your complexion, have you found that, and I think somebody said that light-skinned men are not attracted to them, and I've heard that opposites attract, that most of the time, if you're a light-skinned woman, you will attract darker-skinned men and vice versa. And I've seen that, but I don't know. I'm throwing that theory out there because
it's different. I would say when I think about my serious relationships, they were all light-skinned except for one. And I'm talking straight high yellow, I'll be sure. What's his face? Christopher Williams. They were that yellow. Yeah, that was what I was. I think that's what I attracted. Now, hey, my phone kind of fair, but
so I mean the question, because I heard both of you all say the same thing, like you want somebody over 6 feet. Isn't that a prejudice?
I said I would prefer. My ex-husband was 5'11", and the last man that I gave my heart to was 5'9".
Okay,
so I don't.
So what if he was Kevin Hart height?
I will say this:
that's not gonna work for me. I'm 5'8". Like that's not gonna. It's just.
What difference do it make if he treats you? If he courting you, everything you want in a man except his height, and he's good to you, and you know he's treating you like a
I
lady,
have
you would
dated
give him a
a
chance.
man that I have dated a man that is shorter than me. Let me be clear. I've dated a man that's shorter than me. It's not me that has the hang up. Y'all the ones that want a woman that can wear heels, but you don't want a woman that's taller than you. Well, then that means that you need to be 6 feet to ride this ride if you want me to put on heels.
I'm 6'1". I ain't never had them issues.
Listen,
So here's the thing. When I walk into
listen.
a
I would
room-
take Lisa Leslie for a ride of her life. Stop it.
Okay, all right.
Ain't
I'll
nothing
just,
wrong
like,
with climbing
this up.
mountains.
So when I walk into a room, the first thing that I will see is probably the dark man, the bald man, the chocolate man with the beard. Now, that's not to say that that will be the only thing that holds my attention, but that's automatically where my eyes.
Miriam
Miriam
said,
said a midget.
Midget. I can tell you that now. So, but I at this point, I think I am looking for somebody that treats me well. Now, I will say for me, shorter than me will probably be a problem.
so you look right past short people.
I
You
will
don't
not
see them.
probably.
Not really
Literally,
past, but
look
more like
over
over.
him. Look over him.
I look over.
Listen,
Hey,
y'all better stop
You going in
going
the
past
room
them
like
short
that.
men.
You say what?
Them short men probably is the ones that's gonna take care of you. Just think.
No, they the ones with the
Just
Napoleon
think
complex.
think about the old Batman when he's
Those
walking
are
up the
facts.
wall. That old Batman when he's walking up the side of the building. He can climb you just like that.
Are you talking
Okay,
about
so
Adam
that's
West?
random. Hold on, this
Ben,
is random.
what are
So
you
let's
talking
talk about
Ben?
this. No. Let's talk about this. If we want to get
Free?
into the height thing, which has nothing to do with today's topic, but can you tell me why men who
does.
are like 6'2" always want to date midgets? Y'all want to date the 4'11" women who can easily date a 4'9", I mean a 5'6",
That's
5'9" dude, and they will be fine together. Then you got this whole population of women that's
but
extra
man,
tall
that goes
that
into
can't
what
date
you were
tall
saying
men.
though. That does go into colorism because we talk about preference or prejudice. So because someone has a preference, why is it looked at as a prejudice?
I think it becomes a prejudice, in my opinion, and this is where I have an issue. When you hear men say things like, I don't date black women, you ain't never dated all black women to count every single
I
black
agree with
woman
that.
out. Or
That's
if
right.
you say things like, I don't date dark-skinned women, or when you make
Right.
comments, disparaging comments, like, I used to be fluffy. I couldn't stand for somebody to say, you pretty for a big girl. I'm pretty, period. I'm pretty and I'm a big girl. There's not an exception to the rule. Dark-skinned women hear all the time, you pretty for a dark skin. No, I'm pretty and I'm dark-skinned. Respect this melanin. And I think that's my challenge with people is there's a preference. Like I like light-skinned men. However, if a dark-skinned man come and talk to me right now, I don't turn it down at all. In fact, the last 3 I done dated was chocolate.
To me,
So there's a preference, but that doesn't mean I rule out anybody that I'm compatible with. But when you rule people out by surface stuff, that to me is a prejudice.
I need you to take that word and never refer to yourself as fluffy ever again. We're gonna put it in this box. And we're not
Hey,
gonna
I'm fluffy.
ain't
I'm
nothing
fluffy.
sexy about I'm fluffy. You might as well say
I don't want to be
that
squishy.
you're a beanbag.
I don't want to be
Don't
squishy.
use that word fluffy.
I'm not. I am thick and I am a fluffy sister. I am a plus size sister. Yes, I am, and I enjoy
That
it.
sounds better than fluffy.
and sometimes you
huggable.
gotta take that, Nick. I think you gotta take that prejudice that you think is prejudice, and I think it's not prejudice. I think it's more starting to borderline the words of ignorance to me.
Well, prejudice is ignorance, right?
Well,
Because
no.
you're
Prejudice
coming
is
up with a whole stereotype and you're applying
prejudice
it
is a
to
nice
everybody.
word. Prejudice is a
Oh.
nice word. You're just plain ignorant.
Is
When
that
you say
ignorant?
stuff
The
like that.
INGNANT?
Ignorant.
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 Okay. Ignorant. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but is it fair to, because someone has a preference, and let's face it, men and women look different because there are most women I know have dated kind of the rainbow coalition, right? Light, dark, they kind of go the whole nine.
Tall, fat.
Yeah, the whole nine. But I think for us, it's I think you choose according to your options, and men have more options out here. Let's be totally honest. So we can be a little more, not gonna say
Selective.
picky, but selective if that's what you like, I think that's just what you like. Like that's like that's something we gotta kind of let go. You can't feel a certain type of way about it. I mean, you shouldn't come out and say it. It's not, you're not saying dark is ugly, but if you prefer lighter women, then that's your preference.
I'm telling you right now, you missing out on a lot. You missing out on a lot when you have these biases and these hangups on light, dark. You miss out on a lot. Myself, rainbow, light, medium, dark is night. It's close our eyes and dark. I mean, man.
But I got a challenge, Lefty. Like I can't leave that comment out there because I think you can like what you like, but I think we all know you like tacos. That don't mean that you wouldn't also eat pot roast and that you also wouldn't eat chicken.
Correct.
You can like what you like.
Keep naming them meats.
Tacos and pot roast about even. Everybody.
But my point is, just because you like something does not exclude everything else. You like women, period. You prefer them to be light-skinned.
It's still a choice. I give you a prime example. People think Serena Williams is gorgeous, and she is a pretty girl. I'm not into the muscular thing. She too swole for me.
That's not a preference. Light skin or dark skin, that you still would date.
It's not holding up being dark, but I'm not into the muscular thing. I'm not being prejudiced. She's just a little too, the back too swole. Like
she's not squishy enough for you. Got it.
She's not slender enough.
Well, here's the thing. I think and it goes back to what you said, is that you can like what you like, but I think the problem is when you choose to down or chastise somebody that doesn't fit in that category. So that's when it becomes a problem. It's like, oh, I like light-skinned women, but
I'm throwing a flag on the comment. I'm sorry, I'm throwing a flag on the comment right now.
My comment?
No. This one right here. I'm throwing a flag on the comment. And then I'm gonna say it again.
She's talking about her man. That's her preference.
And I prefer light-skinned people.
But do you all understand? Love has no color.
That is. And
love
the
has
reason
no
I
color.
said it becomes ignorant demonic. When you have that preference, it's okay to have a preference. But when you express it blatantly out, I like black women, that's when it becomes ignorant to me. Because now you're being ignorant. If you're not interested, walk away.
So that's what it offensive with me. I was accused of being color struck because my girlfriends were light. So I was instantly accused. Nobody ever heard me say chocolate sisters are ugly or I don't date dark women. I was instantly accused of being color struck. Instantly, just like that. So, I mean, what do you do? Like, how do you judge it? I understand the line of, you ain't even got to disrespect the fair skin or the darker skin. Exactly. People are going to judge you just off of your preference. And, you know, my options, I had options and I chose what I chose.
Did you really care what they thought?
No, you don't care, but it do gotta, I mean, it'll bother you, especially because, so my family, you know, I come from a big family. We got from dark as night to light bright. You know what I'm saying? So I don't never want one of my aunties or some of my cousins to feel like I feel a certain way about dark sisters, because that ain't it. But that wasn't it. That was never the situation. But being accused of that, it can bother you to a sense. I never want to be looked at. My grandmother was dark. Both of my grandmothers were dark skinned, so I would never, do that.
So Vanessa brings up a good point. She said, I know of guys who automatically place dark-skinned women in the friend zone. And so I think going back to what the original main topic, yes, Ben.
No. That is a bunch of BS, Vanessa, because I'm going to tell you, you ain't heard the phrase, the darker the berry,
the sweeter the juice.
Okay, so stop that with me. No.
That's the phrase, but does that play out in the dating world? So, like, I mean, and I get what
women out there.
Listen, beauty is not the issue. I listen. I think we could talk about this more and more. But for the first time, I am going to keep us on time tonight. It is 8:30, 9:30 y'all time. My fault. I'm in different time zone.
8:30.
But
It's 8:30.
oh,
8:36.
okay. I'm confused. I'm looking at 12 clocks. But to wrap this topic up, I do want to say that I think colorism impacts dating. It impacts your options, especially when men have preferences or prejudice. And I would love to talk about this more with the audience. However, it is time for us to wrap up tonight's show. To thank everybody for absolutely coming out. I do want to thank our look. I don't know if you coming back though, Pat, for throwing shots.
PG, baby.
But I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank y'all for the love. I do want to shout out our blog partners. Harrison Wood was on here earlier. So Wood, Chase, Tori Chanel, Sean Gray. Make sure you check out the blog at WordPress, which is the HSS, whatever it is. There it is. He said, she said in the real WordPress.com. Hey, listen, Chase and Wood get it in. This week's highlight is 9 things that I learned from my husband's mistress. You should go check out that blog. yeah. 9 things I learned from my husband with.
Why don't we talk about that?
We can talk about that after everybody go read the blog. That was Chase and Wood.
Robin said, why is there no hot suit?
She stuck around for 9 things. She stuck around listening to 9 things. Gee,
we ain't doing no hot seat. We ain't doing. I guess
telling you what the people want. I'm just reading the comments, dog. Just reading the comments.
We not
P Jizzle.
We cannot put P Jizzle into the hot seat.
I don't care.
Oh, just as I was trying to sign us out of here on time. You didn't put your foot in your mouth.
We got 20 minutes.
I don't care. I'm a fella. I'm a fella. I'm up to the challenge.
All right, y'all. I'm going to just tell y'all this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the little commercial break. So people get their questions together. Start putting your questions in. We'll do a commercial break and then we will put Pat in the hot seat.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Don't worry, Ben. I won't let you down.
Pat, you sweating? I seen you wiping your head a little bit there.
No, that's his
Yeah.
hat. You know, this hat on the bald head sometimes make it sweat. I'm good.
Uh-huh.
Before we go to the hot seat, I want to put a challenge out there for next week's show. I challenge Robin to come on the show and get in the hot seat.
Ooh, Robbie Rob. Whoa.
Oh.
Hello.
And she held it for the GI, so she ain't got no choice but to come on the show now.
Repping for Jermaine and Tito Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Don't forget Jackie. That was my favorite.
And Reby. Centipede was my
Well,
joke.
my favorite was Janet.
Centipede was the best Jackson song ever made.
Challenge received.
Accepted. Wow.
And challenge accepted.
Boom.
And if Red want to come on the hot seat, let her come.
Oh Lord.
Uh-oh.
Did you just call her Red?
Let's kick it off.
All right. So because Pat is a guest of Being and Lefties, I'ma let y'all first have shots at him. But trust, I'm coming for you for your comment earlier, Pat. Got you.
It's always ladies first. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
No, we'll kick it off. We under time constraints. So, what up, brother?
What up, my man?
What's going on with you?
Chilling, you know me.
Yeah. So, if you wasn't married to our sister, if you weren't married to her, how would you approach the dating scene at this point in your life, at this age? Even before you met her, because you all met, you were already older. We all a little older. So how did you go about the dating scene? Was you pushing for the youngins? Was you going a little younger? Were you just open to anything as far as the women, or how'd you go about it, brother?
Did you like the dark meat, the white meat? Speak on that.
I didn't have a preference. I like mixed. So just give me whatever.
Mariah Carey?
Before I met my wife, man, huh?
Mariah Carey? You said you like mixed. Mariah Carey?
Yeah, I took Mariah Carey too. Before I met my wife, though, actually, I was actually messing around with somebody younger. It wasn't nothing serious. Well, we were doing what we do. When you single, you do what you do, and that's how it was. I wasn't really into dating, bro. It wasn't So technically, we was just smash buddies, because that's all it really was. We wasn't going out on dates and nothing like that. Shorty come through, smash, send her home. She called me. She said, "I want to smash. Come on through, smash. You send you home."
Stop saying smash. Oh, you my brother. I don't even want to think about you smashing.
So what made you make Mrs. Gould Mrs. Gould? Like what about her made you get down on that knee and give her your most precious asset, which is your last name?
Well, it was compatibility, man. Me and her clicked on every level, conversation wise, just being friends. And then something interesting happened that really said, you know what? I got to show her a different side of me. She tried to make me a smash buddy. She said, I was just trying to make you a smash button. I told her, no, that's not gonna happen. I know my worth. So from there, it just went in a different direction. I guess at first I was like, smash buddy, hold on. I'm like, Ben, wait a minute now. That's my line. You can't use that on me. So and it was just a compatibility, bro. Me and her sat down and we talked all the time, and we just became really good friends before I even thought about it. And when I said it, I was like, you know what? I'm finna marry this lady.
Hold on.
Thought I was playing.
Hold on. Camo, we just learned something. Okay. We've been doing it ass backwards.
Ass backwards.
So
make
say
buddy first.
you want to be smash buddies, and then they get offended and don't want to be smash buddies and want to be
reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology.
I got a question.
I'm on that.
That's the best relationship misfit advice. I'm trying that next time. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Pat, you my boy, PG, but you in the hot seat. Hot seat usually comes behind a story. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I need you to answer.
Your wife said she got.
Your wife said she got bamboozled.
So, Pat, what was the worst thing that happened to you in one of your relationships?
The worst thing, seriously, I got a black eye. That was
Tell this story. Elaborate, please.
So
Please,
I was dating this young lady, man. And you know, I was like in my late 20s, maybe my early 30s. And you know, you dating her, we stand together, we cohabitating. And I'm getting ready to go out, you know. And she didn't want me to go out. So I'm like, come on, man, move out the way. So I pulled the door open. And the next thing you know, she fired on me. She sucker punched me. Bam! And I grabbed my eye. I'm like, oh,
you got
female money.
Female attorney?
I said, okay. So I went to the bathroom and I grabbed the towel, right? I'm trying to rinse my eye out. After I rinsed my eye out, man, she hit me so hard, dude. It turned black like right away. It turned black right away. And after that, I'm like, I looked in the mirror, I say, black my eye.
I'm in tears. Wait a minute.
Dude, as I was getting ready to walk back out the door, I'm mad now. I'm getting ready to leave. What made it better to add injury to insult, her sister say, girl, you done black his eye. But you know what? That was the first time I physically put my hands on a woman. Now I'm looking for the sucker punch now, Demont. Vanessa made it just like she's finna do it again. I slapped her. I'm like,
Vanessa said 30. Vanessa said 30 to the eye, no blinking.
Wow.
And she hit me so fast. I wasn't expecting it, bro. She hit me so fast. I looked in my eye. I'm like, I said, I can't believe it. Here's the
question. Did you still go out with the black eye?
Oh yeah, I went out. I went out. My boy said, they said, damn, what happened? I said, man, this hit me in my
Hey,
you didn't even lie about it? You didn't say like it was a hard foul on the basketball court or nothing.
I told him the truth. I said, dude, this itch hit me in the eye.
So I got a follow-up question.
It shouldn't be funny, but it's hilarious.
When you came back home, did y'all have makeup sex?
With the black eye?
I tried to make her pay for it too.
Damn, PG.
Oh my God.
The next morning she said, why was you so rough? I said, look at my eye.
Nunu said, well, you wearing glasses then?
I wasn't, sis. I wasn't wearing glasses then. I'd have just put on some shades.
Wow.
But it was nighttime too, so I couldn't pull the shades off.
So in that situation, PGs, because let's elaborate on that.
That's not like
since she clearly blacked your eye. What made y'all break up? What was the breaking point? Because you clearly stayed with her after she stole on you. So when did you end it? Like what happened?
It ended months down the line, man. I wasn't ready, man. I was still a hot boy. I was out in them streets, so.
So now okay. So the facts was you was trying to go out in gray jogging pants. That's what you was doing.
No, I didn't have a great jogging pants, but I was going to Mr. Ricky's on 55th Street. So.
Wow.
You know how that used to be. They was in there. They was hot.
T. Rich said this is a safe place.
He was still looking. He was still looking.
Is that why she hit me now? Because I was looking.
Gandy said, Pat, blink if you being abused now. Oh,
it's blink twice, Gandy. It's blink.
Hey, we know sis a thug now. Sis a thug out.
I ain't worried about that. I'm scared she'll pop that thing.
Yes, sir. In a heartbeat.
She got them hot shells for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
People know about Mr. Ricky's. Mr. Ricky's was the move.
Ricky was the move. That's right.
Ricky was the move.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. All right. Here's my question for you. Since you're gonna throw me under the bus. Pat, have you ever ghosted a chick and why?
Hell yeah, I ghosted a chick. I wasn't interested. It was only for that one night. If only for one night.
You smashed first, then ghost?
You
Yeah.
smashed and dashed? No, that's not
My
ghosting.
man.
You
My
smashed
man.
and dashed.
Okay.
Smash
So what?
and dash. That's a new
My man.
phrase.
What's your thing of ghosting? Come on, let me hear it so I make sure I get this right.
Well, ghosting is like totally different. Ghosting is y'all kicking it, y'all connecting, and then all of a sudden you like,
I've
but you
done
don't,
that too.
but you don't tell them deuces. You just block
Yeah.
off social media, like.
No, so back in the day, we didn't have social media. We had beepers and we had phones. So
True.
I was dating this young lady for about maybe 3-4 months.
Hold
And-
on, was you to the point you was putting like the 143 in the pager? And
Yep.
she had, yeah,
And she
okay.
responded 304.
And when I just stopped taking her calls, I changed the cell phone number. I didn't change the beeper number. And guess what I was getting? 304, 304,
304.
You turn it upside down and it say ho.
Ho ho ho.
Hey, so but before, real quick, cause you were married before. This is your second marriage, right?
Right.
So you went through a divorce. At what point did you make a conscious decision to get married again? We always joke about bull clock, right? Guys get married at a certain space in their life,
right,
when they're ready to get married. So, like, what was the time frame between your marriages, and at what point, were you over the divorce and ready to get married again?
Man, I was over the divorce about 2, maybe 3 years later. And at first, I really knew I wanted to get married again because the kind of guy I am. I knew I would get married again. One bad experience don't make it right. As I got older, you know what I'm saying? It was like, man, I'm never finna keep being single forever, and I'm not finna keep being somebody's smash buddy. You know what I'm saying? Once I find that perfect one to really settle down with, my wife, as my boy Tony Barber said, my wife caught me at the right point in my life where I was done with all the BS in the background. It was time for me to sit down and get myself together. And she caught me at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Wow.
Okay, so I got a question. I love D, but you just said she caught you at the right time. So what was it? She was the right woman at the right time, or was she the next woman at the right time?
She's the right woman at the right time. It wasn't no next, because again, I wasn't dating when I met my wife. I wasn't even really looking. You know what I'm saying? I would go in the shop and I was chill. I would be by myself and go to the crib. Every now and then, if I need to smash, call the smash.
Stop looking. That's when it run up on you.
Yeah.
So it's a timing. It's timing and the right woman.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, it ain't just it's bull clock.
No.
Okay. All right.
Because you can always get the wrong boo at bull clock, and then that comes in with that ghost.
So I have a question. Actually, Lefty took my original question, but since you are married, what advice would you give to singles trying to, go in that path to get married, to get to what you have? Make sure you have
yourself in order. Because if you don't have yourself in order, it ain't possible for you to intertwine with somebody else and to try to come together.
Brother.
You got to have yourself in order. You got to be at a certain space in your life, mentally and physically, to actually be able to give yourself to someone else 100%.
Okay. Thank you.
That's what's up. That's my smoke fella brother right there, baby.
Man, this hot seat been a breeze. Or maybe it's the fan.
Well, I got a next one. My other question was, because we asked this question last week, what's the pettiest thing that you've done in a relationship? Or to somebody else, a woman that you've been dating? The pettiest thing. That's not like something you can't say.
Make sure the statute of limitations is up on you.
Right.
I'm trying to think, because I'm doing some real petty shit in my life.
Oh, we'll just start down the line. We'll tell you which one we think is the most pettiest thing.
No, I think the pettiest thing I did, to me, would be the reverse of what a woman would do to a man. I wear her motherfucking clothes and throw them outside. I think that's would be the pettiest thing I did.
You pulled away into Excel?
I don't know about their clothes, boy. That's strong.
I get you before you get me. Because I know that's what you're going to do.
Damn.
So I wear her clothes and I threw the motherfuckers out third floor window.
So she just running around. She just running around
What
neck.
season was this in? Because wet clothes in Chicago in the wintertime is
No,
a
it was
whole
fall. It
nother
was fall.
issue.
It was
Oh,
fall. It
okay.
hadn't got quite
Okay.
cold yet, so
I'm
she
just
didn't have
saying, you
to.
trying to.
She didn't have to unthaw nothing.
I was just gonna say you out there trying to shovel up your clothes because they didn't froze to the concrete. That's a whole nother level of petty.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Hey, these damn dogs that came down here in my way. Stop.
Hey, that's dope, bro. That's dope. That's dope. Good job, man. Good
All right.
job.
Well, we will finally take you out of the hot seat. Thank you for being such a good sport.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh, hold on.
Somebody must came
in
up with
here
a question.
somebody in here talking stuff about the hot seat. We was going easy on him because him married. Cha-cha, you don't want the hot seat.
She say I'm ready.
You see, I put a challenge out there. Her and Robin, step up. Step up.
Okay, so we see next week. Y'all gonna need to tune in because Charlie Marie and Robin is going in the hot seat.
Yeah,
Ooh,
for Rob.
Diggity. That's all I gotta say. Ooh, we diggity. All right, now I can sign us out. Again, we can't ever come in below this
You got 3
2-hour
minutes.
mark.
You got 3 minutes.
All right, y'all.
Thanks, TBS.
Look, I love the show, and I just got to tell y'all, all week long, I have heard the We Go Together jokes. That was the best segment ever. The We Go Together. Make sure you take notes for what you should and should not do this Thanksgiving, because you will end up with an accidental boo. Because there are certain things that once we do them, we go together. So I just want to thank everybody that logged in. Thank the audience for participating. Y'all were dope. We have the dopest audience for any podcast out there. That's what makes this so fun. Listen, make sure you rate the podcast, rate it on YouTube, and rate it on Facebook. Make sure you leave comments, like, share, subscribe. We need all the support. We're not asking for nothing but your support. Thank you. I can't with you if you don't leave my sister alone. I'm gonna kick it to Tiff. Go ahead and sign us out.
I had a fabulous time. Pat, it is so great to meet you. I went to high
Thank you,
school with your wife, so
She told me.
glad to actually meet you on the screen. But great time tonight. I love this audience. You all are amazing. Definitely love my co-host. It is always a great time to be with you all. Just a shout out to everybody that has been, and all the essential workers, because the numbers are rising. So I do want to shout out all our essential workers. Just want to note the holidays are approaching, and we are always we want to make sure that we are helping everybody. So my organization, Metro Vision Partners, will be giving out toys to 100 kids for Christmas. So if you want to be a part of that movement, please let me know. Also, we are starting an e-gaming league for middle school and high school students. We can take up to 50 kids. So if you got kids that enjoy gaming, this is their chance to get involved in the league. Also, they can learn about STEM careers as well as participate in national competitions. So hit me up. I am here. Follow my organization, Metro Vision Partners, on Facebook and on Instagram. But love y'all. Looking forward to next week. And it's always a great time. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, Pat, I'm gonna kick it to you. Go ahead and sign us out. How was your experience being in the HSSS podcast?
I love it. Thank you all for having me here. She said, he said, she said. I know I'm probably saying it wrong. It's okay. I love being on here with my family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I got nothing but love for y'all. Thank y'all for graciously having me on here. The hot seat wasn't as hot as I thought it was going to be. I can stop sweating right now. I appreciate it. Much love.
All right, kicking it to you, Lefty.
Hey, thank you. You know, everybody said it best, man. The support has been amazing. Our audience is dope, man. You guys participate. I love how, you know, you guys comment, and even you all who want to come on the show, come on down. It's a great time. Just continue to support, and, you know, we stretch out, man. I got on my Humidor Sports and Cigars podcast shirt. That's our every Saturday show if y'all want to talk sports. Come on, find us at noon on Saturdays. Y'all can check us out from noon to 2 o'clock. We'll be bringing Humidor Shop Talk, the podcast, back as well. And man, check out Dope Living TV for our TV show, Raw and Uncut. Y'all will love it. It's our experience in the cigar shop, sharing some of the funniest stories. You're going to see some of the characters that we hang out with. And when I tell you, it's some characters. It's some characters. And last but not least, it is the holiday season. Camo made a great point. Check on your loved ones, man. Check on your people. Everybody's not doing well right now. You know, it's a lot going on. So check on your people, man. Support, love. Appreciate y'all.
Mr. Smoke Fellas.
Well, thank you all for all your support, man. I have a blast every Tuesday night. My last comments here are love has no color. And like my man PG said, it's about the right person at the right time. And I'm also going to start a blog on the proper 3 meat and 2 side ratio for anybody that wants to know. So that's coming to you soon. 3 meats, 2 sides, you got to have a proper ratio. And trust me, it'll get you what you need.
Get you together. Drumsticks don't count.
Because Thanksgiving is next week.
Thanksgiving
is next week. Is it next week? Yes.
Thanksgiving is next week.
Ladies, get started.
3 meats, 2 sides. Listen, I just want to thank you guys for this show. First up, I just appreciate you guys. I appreciate Chase and Wood, who started the blog. The blog is dope, y'all. It's some old stuff out there. If you think 9 things that I learned from my husband mistress is not crazy, there's a short stint of a side chick. It's all kind of tomfoolery. Harrison and Wood are our counterparts. They just as crazy, if not crazier than us, because we can't find any pictures of them. So they anonymous, so they say it and keep it real. So I just want to thank y'all for supporting it. The blog, the podcast. I thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure that you lock it in. We are here on time, even if Lefty is late. 7 p.m. Central Time every Tuesday. Wow. Yes, Mr. Smoke Fowler.
Yes. I got shirts coming out, 3 meats, 2 sides. If you want to, man, get in the inbox. Got you.
You gonna have them before Thanksgiving?
I'm serious. 3 meats, 2 sides. I got the check.
We got he said and she said apparel now. You want to tell me you want to go tell us?
No, it's gonna be a surprise. But like I said, 3 meats, 2 sides. That's the first shirt that's coming out. Let's go.
And the other one is don't be musty.
Where did that come from?
I thought he was gonna say like it's bull clock or something.
Don't be musty. That's the
or smashability. Like if y'all want to know about the 3 meats and the 2 sides, you gotta go back a couple of episodes where Mr. Smokefella explains what you can get with 3 meats and 2 sides. 3 meats.
Somebody said don't be musty.
And don't be musty.
Terrible, bro.
I would give you the mic. Just take the mic.
Lucky you're terrible.
All right, y'all.
I think I'm drunk.
We are signing out. Thank y'all for watching. Tune in every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Make sure you go out and support us on all social media platforms at the HSS Podcast. I'm over it. Bye, y'all.